And that's when I realized it was a science exam, not a seance exam. Anyways, I failed.
Yeah, well, I failed too. But only because my boy wouldn't let me cheat off him.
Well, my yoga teacher says that cheaters never prosper, exam or not.
It's true. I only ever tried cheating on an exam once, back in high school. I was always terrible at history, and this was my last exam of the year. I just never really cared. It was just a bunch of random things that old dead people did.
Dead people are more interesting than you think.
I only had 45 minutes to finish the exam, and that's what made it so bad. It wasn't just that I didn't really care about history. I had less than an hour to remember every boring fact my boring teacher ever taught me. It was just a giant list of wars, conflicts, battles, all the way down to the date and place. When would that ever be useful? Not just that, but a lot of the names we learned were these weird old European names no one can pronounce.
Yeah, like Britain.
Yeah, you got it.
I knew that I was gonna fail if I didn't do something. I tried studying, but there was just so much. I couldn't memorize everything. So, I made a decision. I only needed a C to pass the class. So, for the first time in my life, I was going to cheat. I thought of multiple ways to do it, like writing out the answers on a piece of paper and slipping them up my sleeve. But the paper kept falling out. I tried sneaking the answers in the plastic of my binder, but my teacher would see it immediately. Finally, I landed on the old tried and true. I wrote out the names, years, and locations of multiple battles, everything I would need to pass, on my right hand. It was supposed to be easy and straightforward, but when I got to class, my teacher had changed up all of our seating arrangements. Usually, I sat right in the middle where I could be ignored, but now I was sitting in the very front row.
I always sit in the back row. It's the only part of the classroom dark and quiet enough to summon demons and not disturb people.
Did they ever help you on the tests?
No, we just talk about anime. They're subtitle elitists though.
She saw that something was up the moment she gave out the exam papers. Maybe I looked particularly nervous. Maybe she caught me hiding my hand in a weird way, but one way or another, she knew I was up to something. I began writing out the answers to the longer essay questions, but I kept sweating bullets thinking that she was gonna spot my hand at any moment. I did my best to not look at my hand at all, but it was hard. It felt like the ink was burning the answers into my skin. 5 minutes before the end of the exam, my teacher, who had been staring at me for what felt like a decade, called out, "Hey Brooke, do you have something in your hand?" I stammered and said it was nothing. She lifted her hands to her face, nestling her glasses on her nose. She kept her eyes on my closed fist as she paced towards the front of the class, step by step, inch by inch, until she was right over me. I kept my hand closed tight, but I could see her eyeing it. She stretched her hand out, reaching for mine. My brain sped up like a hamster on a wheel spinning out of control. I could feel the heat of her breath on my cheek. It felt like I was about to explode, and the only thing I could do to stop it was to squeeze my hand even harder. Seconds stretched into minutes, hours, days, weeks. Her hand came closer and closer, and right as she was about to take my hand, my friend called out to my teacher. It was a really specific question about wording, but lucky for me, it distracted her for long enough that I could finish my exam. The end of class bell rang, and I shot up to the front, slamming my exam down on my teacher's desk before escaping into the hall. I immediately ran to the bathroom to wash my hands, destroying the evidence. My friend came in and started going on about how hard they thought the exam was. Scrubbing my hands with rough, steaming water, I tried to see if my friend could tell I was cheating. They complained a little longer, but I couldn't suss out anything. So, in the end, I never actually got to look at the notes on my hand, and I never found out if my friend was trying to cover for me.
Did you do well on the test?
Yes and no. I got a C, which isn't great, but it's a pass.
C's get degrees. Am I right?
Oh, did you ever cheat again?
No, I thought about doing it again, but I remembered how scary it was, and I could never get the nerve to try again.
Ah, coward.
Not me realizing how mid you are for watching dubs!
Please, Daniel. We can't keep doing this.
Hey everyone, we're trying something new. This story is really based on something one of our team members did in high school. Want us to animate your story? Leave a comment below about the funniest thing you went through at school, and we might feature a story being told to our friends on the hill based on your comment. Terms and conditions apply.